Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to Kota Kinabalu's first Facebook Developer Circles meetup. We're going to get started right away with our first speakers, Trimika Valentius and Jason Lin from Facebook.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this event. Please let me introduce you the head of Southeast Asia Startup and Developer Programs, Jason Lim.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Vince, and thank you, Mika. Can I just confirm that we have the slides loaded up? If all's good. All right. I think I see it being loaded up. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Jason, and I lead developer and startup programs for Southeast Asia at Facebook. And a very warm welcome to the official launch event of Developer Circles Kota Kinabalu. Do allow me to share a little bit on what we do at Facebook Developer Circles, as well as what we have done in Malaysia so far. Now, our mission at Developer Circles is to provide leaders with tools and resources to support their developer communities locally. Whether you are a student learning how to code, a developer looking to turn ideas into reality, or experienced developer searching for the latest tech updates, Developer Circles aims to create this community where you can access information, share knowledge, and collaborate with like-minded developers. And through this program, we hope to educate, enable, and empower developers to be better and more successful. Now, we launched Developer Circles 3 years ago at our annual F8 conference. We started this with just 28 circles. And over the years since then, Developer Circles have grown to a community of more than 300,000 members worldwide. Now, these members come from across more than 200 Developer Circle locations, and these circles are powered by more than 460 Developer Circle leads, who are all volunteers and super passionate in taking the developers community forward. And we are proud to say that out of the 300,000 Developer Circle members, 20% are female members. Now, diversity is something really important to Facebook and Developer Circles, and we will be working even harder to empower and encourage more female developers to come forward and join our big family. Now, at Developer Circles, we have initiatives on a global scale, and these are some examples of programs and activities we have been running over the past few years. We have the online Developer Circle communities, where our members come together online to discuss and share best practices. We have the offline DevC meetups, where we meet almost on a monthly basis in our cities to engage developers locally. And the Women of DevC is an initiative started from APAC, where we wanted to encourage and engage more women developers to come forward. And of course, the DevC training courses and community challenge I will speak about in a bit as well. Now, as mentioned earlier, we have both online and offline engagement and initiatives for DevC. And in APAC for the offline version, so far we have held a total of more than 570 offline events so far. And these are some of the meetups you see in the pictures, organized by our amazing leads from across the region. Shout out to Pakistan leads for the first Developer Circle Pakistan conference, our Taipei leads for hosting the Taiwan Digital Minister for Build Day 2018, Hanoi leads for organizing an amazing 3 build days in a week, and Medan leads as well for hosting the most study groups in participants globally. Now, as we look at our online events, this is an example of how we engage our community online. This is a VR meetup that we held in Hanoi earlier. And these online communities are a place for developers to learn together and provide a forum for discussion and knowledge sharing. And due to the ongoing COVID situation, we do see more of such online engagement and events happening through the rest of this year. Now, we also have lots of resources and training courses for our online communities. This is the resources hub for Developer Circles on the next slide, where you can find training materials and content to help you learn, collaborate, and grow. Now, this resources hub makes additional training materials available through learning paths to help you focus on building out your skill set in the key areas that you are passionate about. Now, another initiative we have is the DevC Community Challenge. Now, this is in its third year running, this challenge invites members to build applications on Facebook technologies to give people the power to connect with friends and family, find communities, and grow businesses. Now, in addition to submitting the challenges online, applicants also have the opportunity to attend over 130 build days around the world, where they can collaborate with other developers on projects and benefit from the in-person trainings. Now, switching gears back to Malaysia, we have launched our very first developer circles in Penang back in 2019, just last year, where we held several training courses and community challenges. We then carry on and launch our second developer circles in KL early 2020 this year. And so far, thanks to the hard work of Trimika and our awesome developer circle leads in Malaysia, we now have more than 550 members in developer circles Malaysia, and this number is still growing as we speak. And riding on the awesome momentum in Malaysia, it gives me great honor today to officially announce and launch our third developer circles in Malaysia in Kota Kinabalu. Yay! Such a happy moment. And at this point, I would also like to introduce two of our developer circles Kota Kinabalu leads. Faezrah, she's a software engineer and the founder of Rambutan Code Academy, and she's super active in community activities like Rails Go KL. Faezrah, give a wave, you can see us. And our second lead is co-lead is Vince. He's a software engineering team lead for a multinational company based out of US. And he's also super active in the Kinabalu Coders community. A very warm welcome to our two leads. And our leads are super active community leaders, as you can see. And we hope that we can work together with you to build a greater community of developers in Kota Kinabalu. Now, before I end up my presentation, I'd like to show you some awesome stories to showcase what we have done in developer circles previously. Maybe let's show the video.
Kalau yang saya lihat sekarang ini dunia IT itu kekurangan cewek, karena memang yang aku lihat, yang aku temui itu cewek-cewek itu kurang kepercayaan diri untuk memang terjun di dunia IT.
Startup kita benar-benar jatuh adalah di model bisnisnya, yang dari situ konsepnya kita benar-benar masih mentah.
Dulu pertama kali masuk dunia kantoran, kerja pertama kali itu emang orangnya diem dan nggak mau kenalan ke tim kayak gitu kan, jadi benar-benar cuma diem, duduk, dengerin kayak gitu.
Kemarin Devsi bekerja sama dengan komunitas cewek lokal untuk mengadakan hosting satu acara memang khusus untuk cewek-cewek. Kalau alasan aku bagaimana sampai mau membangun komunitas IT untuk cewek itu untuk dapat mentoring dari cewek-cewek yang sudah lama berkecimpung di dunia IT. Maunya untuk cewek-cewek yang memang, wah ini saya nggak sendiri loh, saya punya teman-teman.
Dan developer circle membantu proyek kita untuk memulai kembali.
Nah, di sana kita diberi mentoring tentang design thinking, tentang bagaimana membuat prototype. Di situ komunitas memberikan semangat, dorongan untuk menjadikan platform lomba kita itu terrealisasi gitu.
Sejak saya di Devsi Surabaya, impact-nya banyak banget sih ke saya. Jadi saya bisa mendapatkan banyak hal. Ketika itu di komunitas itu ngomong ke saya, kalau kamu nggak coba sekarang, kamu kapan lagi bisa ngomong depan orang? Misalnya seperti sekarang saya sudah nggak malu lagi ngomong di depan banyak orang. Cara mengatasinya saya masuk di komunitas.
Aku juga bermanfaat sama orang lain, terus dengan gabung di komunitas aku bisa ngembangin diri.
Bagi saya, bergabung dengan komunitas ketika ada permasalahan, kita lebih cepat menemukan penyelesaian. Itu akan membantu teman-teman semua untuk lebih inovatif.
Sekarang kan udah pengalaman, sekarang lagi mencoba untuk bagaimana sih saya menjadi mentor. Ini benar-benar saya ingin bantu mereka. Gimana saya membantunya ya, saya dari komunitas itu.
Kayak menemukan keluarga sih di sini, jadi seneng banget sih.
Such an awesome story, isn't it? And many stories This is just one of the many stories we have at Developer Circles, and we look forward to creating more stories together with Developer Circles in Malaysia, in Kota Kinabalu. Thank you so much, and I look forward to a great event later today.
Now let's hear from Faezrah, who can tell us a little bit about herself. Faezrah, you're muted.
Sorry, my bad. I'll do it again. So my name is Faezrah. I am a software developer from Sabah. I also run a coding school and software house here in Kota Kinabalu. Not a lot of people know this, but I am also the recipient of APAC Digital Prosperity Award 2019 in Chile. So with Facebook Developer Circle Kota Kinabalu, I hope to be more involved in the local community, especially helping our local developers grow together with Facebook. That's it from me, Vince. Over to you.
All right, let's see here. Okay, my name is Vince Aggrippino. Kenapa ada orang putih di depan kami? Okay, so the thing is, I actually am more or less a Sabahan. I am a lifelong lover of technology and a software developer. And I settled in Sabah in 2003. I've been very active in the community. I'm a freelance software developer, and I am a remote worker. I work for a company in the States that Jason was good enough to mention. And I have a large family here, at least large to me, and it has been very interesting for me to work to help this community, both for my family and for the other young folks that I see in the area. So I've been very lucky to have this opportunity with Kinabalu Coders and with WordPress KK and now with Facebook Developer Circles to continue to work for the community that has become sort of my second kampung, my kampung kedua. And so I'm very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody and meeting with everybody. And I think that's it for me. So next, I would like to bring on Viviantie Sarjuni, who is the director of our Sabah Creativity Economy and Innovation Hub. And sooner or later, I'm going to remember to put these titles on the bottom. Here we go.
Right.
Viviantie, tell us about the state of tech in Sabah and how SCEIH is also helping out. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Viviantie Sarjuni from Sabah Creative Economy and Innovation Hub. This is a very new initiative in Sabah by Ministry of Trade and Industry in collaboration with Kota Kinabalu Industrial Park, KKIP. So this initiative is still new, like I said before. It is not officially launched yet because our hub is still under renovation now, is postponed due to MCO, but it doesn't mean that we will stop all initiative. We actually have a few programs and initiative in the pipeline planned, curated together with our collaborators, and we will at the moment we focus on delivering awareness campaign on getting entrepreneurs to embrace technology, innovation, and creativity. But soon, very soon, we'll have more solid programs which touch not only entrepreneurship, but also technology and digital animation as well as film industry. Okay, but before that, before I give my thoughts on tech scene in Sabah, I'd like to congratulate Facebook Malaysia for this Facebook Innovation Hub initiative across 5 states in Malaysia: Sabah, Sarawak, Johor, Kuala Lumpur, and Penang. And I'm very happy that Sabah is included in one of the location for this initiative. Special mention to Eric Lee, Facebook public policy manager who has been, championing this since last year. Also congratulate to Vince and Faezrah, team leads in KK Developer Circle for initiating this event tonight. And thank you for having me. And it's an honor to give my thoughts on Sabah tech ecosystem. So I was asked by Faezrah to give my opinion and thoughts about tech scene in Sabah. And I will share with the audience based on two aspects. One, the first one is based on my own experience working with industry player in the startup ecosystem. And secondly, my observation on activities and programs that have been organized by various organizations or NGOs in Sabah to grow this industry. So I was working with government agency before, and our mandate is very much towards on promoting innovation, technology, and creativity in Sabah. Not only in the aspect of entrepreneurship, but also corporate innovation and social enterprise. And when we talk about innovation-driven entrepreneurship, it's very much focused on building business from the angle of solving real problem. And in order for us to build these solutions, usually startups need to leverage on technology. And this is one part that we need to focus as well at that time. So we came to Sabah and we work with various organization, NGOs, and we run some of the awareness programs in which is related to technology and innovation, and it went very well. And with the same motivation, me and my friends, we form a community-driven group, Borneo Startups Community, with the same mission to promote innovation-driven entrepreneurship, basically tech-based startups in Sabah. And we have seen growing numbers of tech startups in Sabah. And I think, but before that, I think it is also very important to mention the work, the hard work, contribution, and efforts that have been done by community-driven groups, NGOs, and organizations in Sabah who have been working, very hard to grow the tech ecosystem. Without them, even Magic, the previous company that I worked with before, won't be able to come and promote our initiative. Not even Sabah Creative Economy and Innovation Hub. So we are very grateful for these initiatives by these groups, and I think it's very crucial to mention their names. I'd like to mention SATA, Sabah Techpreneur Association, now entered their 10th year this year. I'd like to also mention Kinabalu Coders. Kinabalu Coders is an NGO under Ministry of Education and Innovation, and they have been championing the agenda or the IR 4.0 initiative in Sabah. And what I like about them is because they didn't limit themselves just educating people in the KK in the city, but also they go as far as the rural school. And I'd like to mention here as well that Kinabalu Coders is one of our main collaborators with Sabah Creative Economy and Innovation Hub. So to answer your question, Vince, when it comes to the area of technology, IR 4.0, smart agriculture, and stuff like that, Kinabalu Coders will be our collaborator to curate the content for our Sabahan. And other than that, we have Rambutan Code, we have Smart Bar Technology. These are the people that have been, working very hard in growing the tech ecosystem in Sabah as well. Other than that, I'd like to also mention, some organizations and NGO that although their forte is not in technology, but they realize that technology is important and they need to take a step further in getting their entrepreneurs, get to know more about technology and how it can help scale their businesses. I give you an example. Mompreneur Asia Sabah, their forte is basically focusing on small micro women entrepreneurs, but because they realize that technology is important, especially during this pandemic, they have a lot of collaborations with subject matter expert in the tech area, and I'd really like to compliment that initiative. So other than that, from the state government side, I think we should applaud and compliment their initiative of Sabah digital wallet. They call it Sabah Pay. This was, I think this is an initiative by Sabah Credit Corporation. And I think it's a very bold, progressive, very good move by the Sabah state government to make sure that they are, they are aligned to the global transformative effort. I'd also like to share what happened over the weekend last week. If I know everyone in this group know what is Techstar. So Techstar organized online startup weekend to find solutions for challenges during this pandemic and post COVID-19. And I'd like to share that one of our idea from Sabah has been selected as in top 30 ideas to compete in that event. And he is Saudara Zikri. I hope he is watching now. And his idea is about virtual tourism. And this is a solution that has the potential to save our tourism industry that is affected so much by this COVID-19. And I'd like to mention here as well that Zikri does not have any tech background. And why? But his idea is great. His idea is great and has the potential to solve, real world problems. Why I mention this is because I think the responsibility of growing the tech scene in Sabah should not be carried by just tech talents or tech startups, but also by every individual like you and me. And each citizen of Sabah, I think, should take this initiative to embrace technology, innovation, and creativity. And I hope through the formation of Sabah Creative Economy and Innovation Hub, we will be able to help, ecosystem players in Sabah, including Facebook as well, to accelerate the agenda of promoting technology, innovation, and creativity. So my take on the tech scene in Sabah is I think it has bright future now. There are so many organization, NGO like Facebook, like Sabah Creative Economy coming to Sabah. I hope we will be able to produce more tech startups and tech talents in Sabah. That's my take on tech scene in Sabah. Yeah, I'm very positive about it.
Great, thank you very much, Vivi. Okay, next I would like to welcome Andy Fermanata. He is our Facebook Strategic Partner Manager, Southeast Asia. And he's going to talk about some programs from Facebook, including Jobs, Spark AR, and Facebook Login. Andy?
All right. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Let me share my screen. All right. Just want to make sure you guys are seeing my screen. So my name is Andy. I am actually Strategic Partnership Manager for Developer Partnerships. I am responsible for Southeast Asia market that includes Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia. The developer partnership team, basically, we are working closely with developers as well as business to grow by building innovative products and by using our different developer products that we have. So our mission simply working side by side with the developers. How can we, as a Facebook, helping them growing their product, growing their app by utilizing our own developer products. Now, the question is, what are the developer products that we are having right now? If you haven't opened a developer product website, there are many developer products in it. However, for Asia Pacific, we are trying to focus on 5 things. One is we focusing on consumer identity product, or formerly known as Facebook login. So for example, if you have an app and then you want to users sign up and login, you can enable that by using Facebook login. The other thing is we can use Facebook messengers, which is basically um, we are helping the developers across Southeast Asia building a chatbot. We have a different use case, whereas a developer building a chatbot for customer care, lead generation, and other stuff in messengers. The third thing we actively looking for is sharing to stories. So sharing to stories allows developers to integrate their content of their app to our FB and IG stories. As you guys might aware that many people are using Facebook and Instagram stories nowadays. So we felt like there is a lot of demand from users to see more content in stories. The other thing that we launched recently is Facebook Jobs. So Facebook Job is, if you see our Facebook app and then you see in the bottom menu, there's like hamburger menu and you can see Facebook Jobs. Basically, the mission of Facebook Jobs is simply to help people finding the job, and you can apply job through Facebook. And finally, we are trying to nurture ecosystem of Spark AR. So I think if you are open IG or FB, you see many people are using different filters. It's actually part of our teamwork who is doing Spark AR. Now, of course, in the interest of time, I will just only focus on 2 things today. One is consumer identity product and Facebook Jobs. But if you guys have a question other than that, feel free to ask me. I will drop my contact email moving forward, so you can ask anytime. So consumer identity platform is the new naming. So in the past, we call it as Facebook login. Basically, it allows people to log in using Facebook. That's the simple explanation. The reason why we are doing this, when you are having an app, let's say, and then you want to have people signing up, we find that a lot of people reluctant to do, putting their email, their name, and even like birth date. How can we enable people by using one click to sign up? So the Facebook login is basically trying to answer that questions. The implementation is very straightforward. You just put a Facebook login SDK in your app, and then users can log in right away. Now, when users log in with Facebook, what we could provide is basically email and profile pictures that you can use for your own. Now, of course, probably you need more data other than email and profile pictures. That's what we call as advanced permissions. So the advanced permission is basically allowing you guys to have access toward our API. For example, if you need user's age, user's genders, birth of date, or the city, something like that. Now, because it relates to data, users data, and we have like billion of users data, we want to make sure that you guys are comply. So there will be an app review process when you are requesting these permissions. And I will go deep dive more about app review, which I think it would be very helpful for you guys moving forward. Now, the question is why you guys are using Facebook login other than a social login available out there. To me, there are 2 particular reasons, which I think it's very useful, especially my background is also from developer side. One is I think Facebook has a lot of granular permissions in terms of the permission that allows the experience much, much better. For example, if you are commerce platform and you want to enable people to chat in app, you can request like user friends in Facebook or other things. So that kind of granularity, I don't find any in others. And I felt like Facebook has provided a lot. The other thing is from users' perspective. If you are a Facebook users, you basically have a control toward what you want to share to the app. So if you go to the setting in Facebook app, you don't want to share your, let's say, data, your age to particular app, you can basically turn it off. So these two type of balance are actually very useful in the long term, and I think this is why you need to using a Facebook login. Now, moving to Facebook jobs. So basically, we just launched Facebook jobs, I think a few years ago. The reason why we are launching Facebook job is we realized there are more than 2 billion people who use Facebook each month. And over of those, this kind of business people who also using Facebook page, like 90 million of those. So what if we could connect users and business by enabling a job vacation? So really our mission is how we can connect business and users, and we just want to help people to find the jobs. We launched in 2017, and so far there are more than 1 million jobs are posted in Facebook job. We have more than 1 million people who actually applying in Facebook jobs. We want to see more Facebook jobs in adoption in Southeast Asia market. So far, most of adoption are driven in North America. So we want to see more in Southeast Asia because we believe that we have a lot of economic boomings. And we see also many users in Southeast Asia using Facebook. So we want people to also find a job while opening Facebook. The implementation is basically there are two types. One is if we call it on-site. Basically, you can apply the job in Facebook native app directly. So when you click apply now, you just put your name, and then once applied, the employer will get notified. And if the offsite is basically when people clicking, it goes directed to other website, let's say to job portal. So it's pretty standard. Our API is private API for job. So if you need the access, I will help to give you the access for our private API. So the API then will talk with your XML feed, which is pretty standard for any kind of job portal. And then once it integrated, every time you post the job, it will be automatically available in Facebook applications. And you also will get entitled with number of applicants that coming from Facebook using our webhook. So that's how a Facebook job works. Now, we have so many developer products out there. I want to do this. I want to implement Spark AI. I want to implement Facebook job. I want to get permissions and different use cases. The biggest question is we found out is how do I get started? How do I start? How can I enable that? It's a very simple process. So the first thing that you need to do once you have something that you want to build in our platform is create a Facebook developer account. So you go to developer.facebook.com and then you can create account right there. Once you create it, the second thing you need to do is create Facebook app. So Facebook app is unique ID that used by internal Facebook team. So it's different than iOS or Android app ID. So these are basically we use for approving any kind of request permission that you have. Now, once you create app ID, you can start building a test app. So in that test app, you basically can some sort of having sandbox environment to test the API that you want to use. And then once you test it, you ask for a review approval process. The submission for app review process is also happen in our developer dashboard, and we will let you know whether your application is approved or not. Once it's approved, you then can go live with the app. So it's really a simple process. Lastly, I want to share more about app review one-on-one. So it's basically why we are doing app review and how it works. So the app review, it's basically a pretty standard process from Facebook before the developer get access for any FB API. The reason why we are doing this is we want to make sure that your use case is comply with our data and platform policy. We want to make sure that you don't abuse the data in the futures. We want to make sure that everything is basically based on our rule and regulations. There are for submitting app review, there are 4 things that we need to do. One is use case, 2 app ID, 3 instruction, and finally the screencast. Now let me briefly explain. So what exactly use case? So the use case is basically telling you the reason why you need that permissions. What are the user's benefit for having that permission? For example, if you are requesting, let's say, friend request, friend list, the use case that you probably want is basically because you want to enable social interaction within the app so people can chat in the app using the friend list that they have. Or for example, if you want to have a user's age, because you are an app that has different content and you want to make sure that the content are proper for certain age range, let's say above 18 years old. So that kind of use case we are trying to match with our API. Now, after you have the use case, what you need to do for us is providing the test app ID and credential. It's basically an app dashboard and instruction how to reproduce it. Many of app review that being rejected are because of this. 1, they don't provide correct app ID. 2 is because they do not provide instruction how to reproduce. Because the one who review is actually human being, they need to be taught, and we receive like 100 or even like 1,000 per day. So we need to be taught about what exactly this app works. And finally, you need to upload the screencast. And once this 4 things are submitted, we will get back to you maximum 3 to 24. So maximum 3 days, we will get back to you regardless is it approved or not approved. If you are not approved, you can resubmit. And if you are approved, then your app is basically live with our permissions. I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to spend more detail about developer product, but if you guys have a question, we are very happy to answer your questions. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Andy. Okay, now it's time for our open discussion. And I want to talk about how we can use this program and other programs that we may be involved in to improve the conditions in Sabah, to improve our tech situation in Sabah. One thing that I notice is that a lot of jobs in Sabah depend on tourism and service industry. And of course, all of us are taking a really big hit because of this COVID-19 situation. So that's what I'm hoping to accomplish with Facebook Developer Circles, and also the other programs that I'm involved with. And so I'm hoping that we can get some good questions and good ideas from the community here. Let's see what we got. What do you think we can do to create economic opportunities for developers in Sabah? Now, that's a very good question. Now, one thing that I think people don't know enough about is remote work opportunities. Now, granted, I come from the background of a software developer, so I see these remote work opportunities. The thing is, kids here don't so much think about what they're going to do when they grow up, and then they go and take SPM, and if you ask them, they say, oh, I'm going to be an engineer. And there's nothing wrong with being an engineer, but it's not very specific, and you can tell that they haven't devoted a lot of thought to that in the past. So one of the things that I'm hoping to do through Facebook Developer Circles is inform people of all of the other opportunities available. And every opportunity involves technology in some way. And also, I'm hoping to inspire businesses and business leaders and business owners to use technology to improve the way that they do business. And so we're ready to have workshops, we're ready to have classes, we're ready to have we are planning to have speakers from local businesses, people who are running local businesses who are already doing good things in KK and in Sabah through technology. I've already spoken to a few people who will be coming to talk in the near future. And I'd like to know from everybody watching, and from everybody that hears about this, and from everybody that hears later, what they would like to see, who they would like to hear talk, what they'd like to learn about, what ideas they might have. The virtual tourism idea from Techstars that Vivi mentioned is a fantastic idea. But again, we're focusing on tourism. There's nothing wrong with tourism unless it's the only thing, which is kind of what I've been seeing. Tourism or sales or something in the service, something that depends on somebody else. With technology, you can take control of that. You can build things, you can earn money, and it only depends on you. And so I would like to inspire people in this area. Now, when I say this, I have a daughter and I have 10 nieces and nephews. To me, that's a huge family, but I've learned from other folks recently that in Sabah that might not be as big as I think. But in any case, those people are all in my heart. The oldest two are 19 years old of those 10 nieces and nephews. And they're just starting out on their career, and neither one of them is working in tech. So I've been doing something wrong. So I need to learn from everyone in this community how to inspire people and how you'd like to do more things with tech and how to get more businesses involved in tech in Sabah. I've said so many times before, every business at the very least needs a website. And there are so many more things that you can do with managing stock or with managing customers or bringing more customers to your business, all through technology. And we want to help people learn how to do that, help people. Really, I know a lot of people are motivated by making money. I want to help more people learn how to make money using technology. And we are absolutely willing to teach anyone it will entertain any ideas. We'll teach anybody what they don't know, teach them how to get to the point where they want to get in technology. So let's have some ideas.
Yeah, there's this interesting comment from our viewers. If you can display that on the screen, please. Right. So yeah, Anna Iwan Koska. I'm really sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but okay. So I think for entrepreneurs from different background, they don't see importance of IR 4.0. I'm veterinary medicine background. 99% vet business owners in Sabah still don't use any software database. So it is something that we can help with Facebook Developer Circle. We can obviously, like Vince mentioned, we can do workshops not only for developers but for business owners who are interested in going digital, especially because of our current situation. But I would be interested to know Viviantie's take on this. How can the hub possibly work together with us at Facebook Dev Circle to address this issue? What do you think?
Okay, I'd like to mention something about give my opinion also about this question. Like I mentioned before, the responsibility of growing the tech ecosystem to promote awareness of how important is technology shouldn't be carried by just all of you guys, the tech talents, tech startups. It should be also the responsibility of every citizen in Malaysia to, especially in Sabah, to realize that it is about time for us to embrace technology. And on behalf of the hub, maybe our forte or our focus is not so much towards, well, we do focus on tech as well, yes, but our role is beyond than just that. Our role is also, our mandate is also to focus on entrepreneurship, digital animation, film industry, and stuff like that. But yes, on behalf of the hub, we do have a section where we focus on IR 4.0, big data, cybersecurity, and stuff like that, which will be managed by our one of our collaborators. And we are willing to collaborate with developer circles. Maybe we can co-organize programs to address, we can co-organize programs for our entrepreneurs. But I'd also like to emphasize here that before we can even run any programs, I think it is also very important to understand the motivation behind these entrepreneurs. If you're speaking on from the angle of entrepreneurship, what makes them feel reluctant to learn technology? We need to identify what are the loopholes, and only by addressing these loopholes will we be able to get more people to embrace technology. So I mentioned in my previous interview with Faezrah, it's unfortunate this for us to be hit by this COVID-19 pandemic, but it is also a blessing in disguise, because everyone just don't have a choice. You want it or not, you have to embrace technology. And my father, 67 years old, now learn how to make a video clip. So to answer your question, Faezrah, yes, we are willing to collaborate. We do have a pipeline of programs that is curated by Kinabalu coders, and perhaps we can see which area we can work together. Maybe we can organize a hackathon, like what Startup Weekend did last week. I think, yeah, of course, we are more than happy to collaborate with everyone.
Now, I popped this question up. It's very general, from Rabindo Chaudhary. And I think it's still a good question, because that is where a lot of business owners are. They don't exactly know what to ask. He didn't tell us what kind of business he has. But it's really actually a very good question. How can I improve my business through Facebook? Now, really, I want the picture to be bigger than Facebook. But Facebook, I think, can be very good for managing customer relations. And there are other. Again, it depends on the user, but there are other ways that you can leverage Facebook to help your business. But also all of technology. Now, if your business manages stock of any kind, you can, as was it Ivanka? Anna Ivankowska. As Anna mentioned, there's databases can help make your business more efficient. It just depends. What do you want to know about? What are the problems that because no matter what kind of business you run, you're currently facing some kind of problems. And then we can help people if there's a demand. We can help people learn how to solve those types of problems. So we don't just want to hear what you're already doing with technology. We want to hear what kind of problems you're having with your business right now. And then we find the people who have the ideas on how to solve those problems with your business. Now this, I believe, I suspect this is from Arthur Raymond, who forgot to click on the thing that says enable the, that is too long to fit in the stream. But yeah, it's too big. I think that might be Arthur Raymond, because I see his comments. I see his comments in here. Oh no, that is from Mek Masri Mahat. That's from Masri. He is actually somebody that I'm hoping will come and speak to us. He runs SmartBot Technologies. Okay, so Masri posted something about, I'll read it. Drones are a huge development right now, and many of the applications for surveyors, search and rescue ops, drone race events, or film entertainments, and many others, especially in artificial intelligence right now. So artificial intelligence has been gaining traction, but we do not have enough professionals investing in Sabah. Will Sabah be able to expand this and welcome external companies to help with the community and set up a hub, especially now that the technology of self-flying, it got cut off. But he's talking about drones in combination with artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a big technology right now, and we would all benefit from learning more about, excuse me, we would all benefit from learning more about how to implement artificial intelligence and also incorporating that with drones. Now, the folks that are familiar with Kinabalu coders, they know that some of the things that we do at KC involve drones. And if more people want to learn about that, and if people want to learn about that in ways that will help their business, like surveying and gathering information from the environment, that is really something we can delve into. We could probably find an expert who would be willing to give a talk for us. We could probably find research materials. It's not just these video calls. In fact, in the future, we're hoping after the COVID-19 thing is over, that we will have more, we will have in-person events. So that is a very good idea for a topic that we could have for a future event, artificial intelligence and drones. So there's posts like this. If you didn't do the approval thing, then I can't see it on here. I have to go over to the Facebook window. But I think that's Masri. Oh, drone is Nazmi, right? Okay. So anyway, yeah, that is the message that was at the bottom of our event post that says, in order for us to see your ID, you need to approve.
I don't know if Mika or Jason or Andy can share a bit about what else can Facebook help us through developer circles. Since Vince and I are new, we are not really up to date yet with the courses or the activities from dev circles. So if Mika or Jason or Andy can share a little bit.
Yeah, I think I can take this question. So when we, try to launch these developer circles in other cities, in not only in Malaysia but in Indonesia and another country as well, we see that whenever people joining the DevC community, they get the benefit of meeting the more senior developers, right? And then when they meet these more senior developers, they're able to learn much more from them, and not only in terms of hard skill, but also like soft skill as well, as how to become a software engineer. And through that connection, we see a lot of developer circle members, get at least a more better job as a software engineer, or get more better opportunity inside their existing company as well.
All right. Okay. So there's also another question from YKTI. So, if Facebook developer circle can only use Facebook too. If I understand correctly, this developer circle, our main job is to provide the community with whatever Facebook will provide, right? So and also what do you call it? We organize workshops, and it's not only limited to to Facebook products. You can also do workshops talking about different open source technologies and all that. Is that true, Mika?
Yes, that is correct. Faezrah, I think you mentioned it very beautifully. So in developer circles, we are not only limiting on talking about Facebook developer tools. Of course, Facebook developer tools could help a lot of developers on building their product or improve their career as well. But we are not limiting any kind of technologies in our developer circles community. So if you want to talk, let's say for example, you want to talk about Vue.js or even AngularJS. So yeah, we don't really have any restriction on what are the topics that can be discussed in our developer circles community.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Faezrah, if I can add a little bit,
Right.
I think another area that I think our entrepreneurs or our tech talents need right now, and I think it's about time for us to start or initiate this collaboration, is mentoring platform. A lot of entrepreneurs came to me and asked like, "Hey, I don't know how to do this, how to do that," but my forte is not in tech. So if we as an ecosystem, the stakeholders in the ecosystem can collaborate and form a mentorship platform where we have subject matter expert from Facebook or maybe from Rambutan Code, from Smart Bar, from KC, from the Hub, then I think we will be able to provide or give more values towards our entrepreneurs. So I think mentorship, hand holding program is very important to also help our entrepreneurs. So maybe something that we can, organize together with Developer Circle KK.
Yeah, sure. We actually have. Oh, there's an echo of my side. No, actually, there's no here. I live
It's
in
gone
the.
now. I heard it too, but I think it's gone already.
Oh, is it? All right.
Now,
So
I wanted to show this, and it sort of ties in with what Vivi was just saying. People that don't know how to start, and I think that an important thing is, okay, so making sales online is a problem we know how to solve right now, and we can teach people how. And the reason I think that this is an important comment is that there are a lot of people in this situation. They just don't know how to start. They don't know what questions to ask. They might be running a business, but going beyond just, and it might even be the kind of business that has, a garai in the local tamu, and it's still a business. And sometimes people that are in that situation are a bit intimidated by the technology. And I'm hoping that we can also provide that type of in between knowing nothing and already being the expert. Like all of us on this call are very much in the, we know how to use technology to make our income. We know how to do certain things, but I think the community really needs people in between, people who can help with the step one, and that is what our in-person workshops could be. And then also, there are going to be business owners who don't want to learn how to do it themselves. They want to learn who in the community can help them. So this is where we can start to build economic opportunities for people who are just working in Sabah, because that person who needs to do sales online and has no idea how, and he or she, I think he said it was a she, yes, she doesn't know how. She might not want to worry about it. She might want somebody that can do it for her for a reasonable price. And there are probably people of any age group in Sabah who want to learn how to actually implement that and make a little bit of money doing it. And so we can start to build those economic opportunities, either by teaching the business owners who want to do it themselves, or by teaching the people who want to start doing that kind of work to do it for those business owners. And the opportunity is there. We just have to be ready to get people started, because the people are out there who just want to get started. They just don't know how. And so we can give them that start, and then they'll take it from there. A lot of us, certainly I was one of these people who, once I got my start, I took off with it on my own. So I think that's a good point here. Now this one I checked. This one is Arthur Raymond. And then I think Vivi mentioned something about online payment, and that is also an important thing, making online payment available to all kinds of businesses. So any comments on that?
Maybe I can comment. I think I've posted an article about Sabah Pay or Sabah Digital Wallet last night. And I think it's a very good initiative. I'm very happy with this move. It's just that uh, I think it's very important for us to understand the entire ecosystem and who are the stakeholders, right? So, and also for us to understand the role of each stakeholder. So now, Sabah Pay, our very own first digital wallet in Sabah, is good. However, when it comes to internet connectivity, internet infrastructure in Sabah, is it is it, can it support this e-wallet initiative? So how about the people in the rural? Yes, we want to get them to use online, but do they have a bank account in the first place? So that is why it is very, I mean, the initiative is good, and I think it's about time for us to start. It's just that when it comes to internet connectivity in Sabah, I think this is something that we need to tackle as well. So I would like to invite people in the ecosystem to start thinking about it and see who are the people in the ecosystem that we can work very closely to tackle this issue, because I think there are a lot of complaints about the internet infrastructure.
Yeah, internet is necessary for most of what we'll be working with. Not everything, but almost all of it. Now, Arthur's comment said some group has to be the enabler for online payment. And internet connectivity is a very important problem. And I think that we are mostly okay. Granted, you're right. There are going to be people that don't even have bank accounts. But because everyone walks around with a hand phone of every age group. I mean, my in-laws who are in their 70s have hand phones and they're just fine on the internet. I think everybody can get access to the internet within reason. Some kampungs maybe it can't reach. We could probably ask somebody to come and speak who could talk about online payment. Granted, the people that we would ask to come speak would probably be in favor of one system or another. I think there's Sabah Pay and there's Boost and I know some businesses even support Alipay, which isn't even in Malaysia, and there's probably at least 20 others. So there's a bit of a problem there, but online payment is a really good thing that would make it easier for businesses to collect payments from their customers. So I think we've done pretty good. I hope that we have a lot more people involved. We're going to schedule some people in the future. We know a lot of people are running businesses and don't quite know how to take the next step into technology. And perhaps we can keep that in mind when we schedule topics. We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to figure. But I know that we have a number of people who are working with technology in the area, and that's important. In the area, meaning not American, well, aside from me, and not even in KL, but actually Sabahans that can solve these problems for local business owners. Sabahans includes me, by the way. Saya memang orang Sabah ba. But so I think that probably our first focus to serve the most people will be sort of how to take that first step into improving the way your business operates using technology. What do you guys think? Everyone is muted except me.
I think it's a great initiative, Vince. I also think we need more entrepreneurs who really lead by example. Those who, because I know a few who never had, any background on technology, but now they are doing it. So I think maybe one of the things that we can do is to invite entrepreneurs. These are, I call, the people who lead by example. So maybe they can share their experience from, not knowing nothing about technology, and now scaling their business using technology. So I think Hafizi did ask something just now about platform to scale their business, right? For those who know nothing about online, how to do business online. So there is this WhatsApp commerce they call Yeza. I'm not too sure if you have heard of it. So Yeza is a new WhatsApp commerce that can help businesses, especially micro sellers, to sell through WhatsApp platform. So if they can't afford website, they can't afford mobile app, they can start with this. Yeza, they call it YEZZA.
That's interesting. I have not heard of that before. I know that there have been a number of attempts to emulate to a certain extent what they have done with WeChat in China. It's just that what they do in China is kind of unique because of the way that their system runs. So that's interesting. I'm going to look in. That could be a topic for a future talk too. The thing is, I don't want to favor a particular brand. Even though this is Facebook developer circles, I don't even necessarily want to favor a Facebook brand. I want to favor whatever turns out to be the best solutions in whatever capacity for Sabahans. And we've got if I think we probably should do a topic in the future on mobile payment options. And Yeza would definitely, we could even do like a comparison type topic. Yeza would definitely be consideration. So would Boost, so would Sabah Pay, whatever that turns into. I think it's still sort of in early stages for Sabah Pay. We could talk about Sarawak Pay, which is not exactly for us, but they got a little bit of a head start on Sabah Pay. And some of the other payment options. I mean, I walk into KFC and there's a picture of a credit card on the counter with some online payment options. So that could definitely be a good topic, both for people who are running businesses who want to be able to accept those payment methods, and people who are just regular individuals who want to make it just a little bit easier to buy things, both online and around town. So we've gone over time a little bit, which is good. We must have had interesting things to talk about, and I think we're going to call it to a close for now. We are going to meet again on the third Tuesday of next month, which I will check the calendar. Next month is May. So that should be the 19th of next month. And I think that we are going to, I've already spoken to a couple of people about possibly speaking in the future. And there are several more that I have in mind. We also have some topics. I think there's a demand for people who are running businesses and don't quite know how to take that next step to use technology for their business. And Facebook could be a first step, but some businesses run with only Facebook, and I think it's not enough. Technology is very diverse, so that's what we'll try to tackle in the future. And we hope to keep getting comments. I hope everyone is joining the Facebook group and making comments, asking questions. Maybe we'll hear again from Rabindu Chowdhury about what type of business he has, because he had that very general question: how can I use Facebook to do business better? Something along those lines.
he also actually have a question about upcoming technology from Facebook. I don't know if you want to address that. Someone can share, maybe.
Yes, the same guy.
Yes, same guy.
It's just that it's a very general question. And I mean, I don't know, is Yeza, I know WhatsApp is from Facebook, but it looks like Yeza might be built on top of WhatsApp. I wonder if Facebook has some e-commerce solutions. I wonder if, you know, I do want to learn about that. Absolutely. I don't know either.
Yeah, it seems like our viewers tonight actually talk about businesses a lot. So if someone from Facebook can share a little bit before we go offline, before we end this meetup, some Facebook tools that they can use to start with for their businesses.
This is interesting. I don't know about Facebook Marketplace.
Me too. Yeah, I just found it like right now.
Yeah, sure. I can help to answer that question. It seems like everybody is asking about the business and how Facebook can help. So the first thing that we need to clarify is that what exactly the problem or the goals that you want to use using Facebook technology.
That's not what I wanted.
For example, if you want to have, let's say, if you know the goals, let's say if your goal is like user acquisition, we have different product. And if your goal is to retaining your users, we do have different products. And if your goals is for having conversation with users, we do have a different products. So really Facebook has a multiple products that could answer each specific questions that business have. Now, specifically for e-commerce, for example, we do have a messenger's capability that has been widely adopted by different e-commerce. And I felt like we could adopt that also in Malaysia, how we can leverage that messenger's technology for e-commerce. Like, for example, the simple use case is, let's say you are e-commerce and somebody want to buy something, but they are running out of stock. What you could do with messengers, you set up one-time notifications, and then that one-time notification, once the stock's coming, will give the users notifying like, hey, the stock is coming, you can buy right now. That's one of the example that we do. The other example we do is we did some sort of targeting, which users are we are targeting for which users that more likely to purchase your product using Facebook technology. So we do have like end-to-end solution, starting from people who doesn't know your product until people who already purchasing your product but having problem. So I think what would be the next step is it would be very helpful if we have an audience and gather their feedback. What are the top 3 pain points? And then other than for us from Facebook, like throwing like different set of product and not solving any problem, then from that top 3 pain point, then we finally can address for that. And to begin with, all the messengers API is actually free, meaning that we do not charge any message percent to you or to end users. So it really is very helpful for the business, and we really want to help you more for that.
Okay, Facebook. Okay, so there are a lot of things that Facebook does besides cat pictures. So we all have a lot to learn here.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is good start with. Me, Mika, and Jason are more than happy to have like coaching, mentoring, and provide like expertise, especially for Malaysian ecosystems.
Yeah, also adding on that community is always very important. So we'd like to take this opportunity to also call out to everyone in the community. Come forward, join us with more people, gives us great power to do more good in the community. Junior developer, senior developer, just join us and we can see what kind of magic we can create in the next few years.
Awesome. Okay, guys.
Sorry, Vince, just 10 seconds on behalf of Sabah Economy and Innovation Hub. I would like to invite all Sabahan to support Facebook KK Developer Circles. as well as Sabah Creative Economy and Innovation Hub as well. Let's work together collectively so that we can build brighter future for Sabah. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everyone muted again. No, Faezrah is muted. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming. I'm going to end the broadcast now, but we will still be on the Facebook group. We'll all respond and reply. And I hope people will post more questions, give us ideas for our next event. And stay tuned for more information.
Good
Thank
job,
you, everyone.
Faezrah.
Bye.
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 Thanks, everybody.
Bye.